Hey, what up guys? In this video, I want to tell you a little bit about Ting Mobile. If you haven't heard of Ting Mobile, they're a new prepaid cell phone company under the Sprint network, and they're revolutionizing the way cell phone plans are priced. If you don't have a lot of money, I'm a college student and I don't have a lot of money, so I can't spend a lot of money on a cell phone plan. And Ting was pretty much my answer to saving money. And let me show you why. Uh, so you can have as many phones as you want per plan, and each phone is $6. I was previously on Verizon, and I was on my parents' family plan, and I know each line is $10. So right off the bat, you're saving $4. Now, if you look at these pricing structures, you can say that they might not seem affordable at first. But the thing is, you're probably not using all of the stuff that you buy. So you might buy like an unlimited text messaging plan, but you only use maybe 100 text messages, or between 100 and 1,000 text messages. So to buy that many text messages maybe isn't that affordable, or you're forced into a 2 GB data plan for $30, but you don't even use that much data, or you don't even get close to the 2 GB that you're actually using. For 1 gig, for $24 you get 1 gig, so you're saving $6 right there. And for those who don't even have a smartphone and have one of those old plans like me, well, actually, I don't have one of those old plans anymore. I switched to Ting. But when I was still in my parents' old family plan, I didn't have any text messages or data. But now I can for an even cheaper price. So I'm the only one, actually, on Ting. And I'm paying for 100 minutes, 100 text messages, and 100 megabytes of data. And that's only $15 a month. They don't add any charges to your monthly plan. When I looked at my Verizon bill, although it was $10 a line, it was actually $20 for my line alone, because of the taxes and because of this Verizon surcharge that they oddly charged me, and it was like $3 to $4, and that hit me up to $20. I looked at my first bill at Ting, and there's no surcharges. They even say, if you read it, that there's no charges. Also, if you look right here, the freebies, there's no charges for caller ID, voicemail, tethering, hotspotting, picture and video messaging. They're all the same. So it's a very good deal. And it's a really good deal the more devices you add. So if you have like 4 devices, and perhaps you're a new generation, you don't actually use your phone a lot. So 500 minutes, but you text and you definitely use data. So yeah, $80 a month. $80 a month for 4 smartphones. Now, if I recall this correctly, if you had a smartphone on Verizon, you need to pay $40 for the actual plan, the share everything plan, and then $40 to actually use your smartphone on that plan. So $80 just for one phone. And I think you only get like 1 gig of data. Now, what if you add a second phone? That's another second smartphone. That's another $40. That's $120. So you're already above the price of Ting, and you only have 2 phones instead of 4. So you can see Ting is actually a really good deal. And the reason why is they kind of hit you with the service. This is Sprint, and depending on your area, it might be shady. It might not be the best thing to switch to. However, if you live close to a major city, Sprint is probably in that city. And the best thing about this is if you get into Ting, if you enroll to Ting, they have a deal with Verizon. Sprint also has a deal with Verizon where you can roam onto Verizon's network. And if you buy an LG smartphone, there's actually ways to force roam your cell phone into Verizon's network. As you can see up at the top, I ordered a LG marquee for this very reason. I currently have the Samsung Transform Ultra, and it's a really good phone. The screen is great, it's very responsive, but the problem is sometimes I lose signal and I roam onto Verizon, but because it wants to keep flicking between Sprint, it keeps searching for a Sprint signal even though I have signal by roaming in Verizon. It kind of drains the battery really fast. When I say really fast, I mean like 10% after an hour and a half, 2 hours. So, I mean, that's not really good, but it's also not bad. Technically, it'll last the day for me. And the moment I step outside, it's not going to roam. So, if you're not inside a building all day, it's a pretty good deal. But here are some of the devices that you can buy on Sprint. Oops. Here we go. And, they're not cheap. They're not subsidized. So, those savings that you see per month, you get the hit with an upfront cost for a cell phone. But if you have your own cell phone from Sprint, within the next couple months, you can probably bring that cell phone to Ting. So if you already have Sprint, I don't know what you're doing on Sprint. You should just come over to Ting. And let me just show you like the account page. You can see I'm paying $15 for this month. I have 5 days left, and it shows you how many minutes you used, how many text messages, how many megabytes you've used, and an estimated cost. And the estimate is based off the estimated amounts of whatever you're using. As you can see, if you view the details, there's only, like I said, only one phone on my plan. So it only shows my phone, but if you have multiple phones, it'll show how many stuff they're using. In this case, how many megabytes they're using. The cool thing about this is if you're in a family plan or a group account under Ting, you can set these alerts over here, the alerts. And if you do that, you can tell them to either send you an email or send you text messages warning that user that you're reaching a limit, a predetermined limit that you set. So as you can see here, I was shown that I used more than 50 megabytes. I only bought 100, so I want to make sure that I stay underneath that 100 megabytes. So along with this warning, I actually have an alert that closes down all data until the next billing cycle, so I don't actually get billed. But like I said, if I were to go over that 100 megabytes, they would simply bump me up to the 500 megabyte plan. There's no extra. There isn't the $5 per megabyte going over charge. And the cool thing about it is, if I use less, say I bought 1,000 messages and I only use like 50 text messages, then instead of I pay $5 for text messages that month, but the next month they give me back $2. So they actually give me back money for not using the stuff that I didn't use. So Ting is a very fair company, and I encourage anyone who is close to the end of their contract or who's on a prepaid network, and even Sprint, especially those who are in Sprint, you're going to get identical service. I encourage everyone to jump ship onto Ting Mobile, and if you do, you can save $25 on a device of your choice that you can buy from the Ting device menu. If you use my referral link, you'd save $25, and if you do, I greatly appreciate it. If you found this helpful, give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and like I said, hopefully you sign up for Ting. And if you do, please use my referral link, which is right here. Thanks again, and save that money.